We ask that you now take a moment to silence your electronic devices. A live feed of tonight's program is being shown in the building lobby, as well as room 355 on the top floor, should you or your child need to leave. Thank you.
Hello. Welcome and thank you for joining us for this very special event. This afternoon we have the opportunity to recognize distinguished alumni and celebrate outstanding students who are graduating tomorrow. We're excited to be celebrating these outstanding individuals for all of their accomplishments in the presence of their family, friends, teachers, and mentors. My name is Mark Neal, and I have the privilege of serving as the Assistant Dean for Educator Preparation in the College of Education. Before we get started, I would like to introduce a few special guests in attendance today. Joining us today, we have a number of ISU and College of Education administration and faculty members. When your name is called, would you please stand and be recognized? Dr. Karen Wilson Scott, Interim Dean of the College of the Graduate School. Karen was our colleague in the College of Ed for a number of years. I can't let her go. Dr. Dottie Salmons, Interim Dean, Assistant Dean of the College of Education. Dr. Alan France, Interim Associate Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Esther Natuli, Department Chair of Teaching and Educational Studies. Dr. John Fitzpatrick, Chair of the Department of Sports Science and Physical Education. Dr. Patty Mortensen, Chair of the Department of School Psychology and Educational Leadership. Ryan Sargent, Director of Alumni Relations. We also have a number of friends of the College of Education that have been avid supporters of our students for many years. Tonight I'm pleased to be sharing the evening with Valerie Watkins. Valerie, would you wave to us? There she is. Mary Wagner. And Ron Waters, last year's recipient of the College of Education's Professional Achievement Award. Thank you all so much for being here and for your continuous support of our students and our college. And lastly, but certainly not least, I would like to introduce all of our College of Education staff members who have worked tirelessly every day to support our students and who have spent numerous hours preparing and organizing this event this evening. So quickly, if you would just stand, Catherine Ryder, Development Director in the College of Ed, Amy Bytoff, Outreach and Marketing Coordinator, Marcy Onkel, Administrative Assistant in the Kent Center, Raylene Hauk, Administrative Assistant in the Kent Center, Krista Caroli, Administrative Assistant in the Department of Organizational Learning and Performance. Lundy Facer, Administrative Assistant in the College of Education. Sheldon Harris, the College of Education's Systems Administrator. Laura McCrae, Administrative Assistant for the Regional Math Center. Mr. Anthony Shore, Instructional Technology graduate student. Dr. Jamie Webster, Advising Coordinator. Dr. Amy Slack, Field Experiences Coordinator. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Karen Appleby. Dr. Appleby is a professor in the Sports Science and Physical Education Department here in the College of Education and has served as the interim dean in the college from 2016 till 2018. Dr. Appleby.
Don't worry, I'm not running off stage. Just getting an award. It's a pleasure being here this evening to celebrate with you all tonight. At the end of every academic year, each college at ISU selects and honors a Professional Achievement Award recipient. These recipients are alumni who have made important contributions to their careers and professions, to the social, political, and economic well-being of the world around them, and who have shown continued community and civic involvement in addition to their association with and contributions to Idaho State University. Individuals selected for these prestigious awards have excelled in their chosen fields, attaining significant success and accomplishments. Tonight, it is my distinct honor to introduce our 2019 College of Education Professional Achievement Award winner, Kelly Ray. Kelly earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from ISU in secondary education with a minor in sociology in 1982. At that time, teaching jobs were few and far between, so Kelly astutely changed her professional path and pursued a career in law enforcement, first as a city police officer and then as a special agent of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. During her career with the DEA, Kelly attained a graduate degree in public administration and, upon retirement, pursued another illustrious and community-focused career path as an urban infill developer. Kelly Ray and Pamela Haberman formed Haber Homes in 1998, and since that time have completed approximately 300 properties. Haber renovation projects transform unused and, in their words, blighted structures into safe, affordable, stylish, and environmentally friendly living spaces for people to call home. Not only are their properties beautifully and artistically constructed, many of their projects have been recognized both locally and nationally as models for sustainable development in urban settings. Please join me in welcoming our 2019 College of Education Professional Achievement Award winner, Kelly Ray.
That's right. Well, I'm a lot shorter than her, aren't I? A lot shorter than everybody. Good evening to those in attendance, and a very hearty thank you to those of you who not only nominated me for this award, but also selected me for this award. I am honored. Now, I cannot go a second further in this speech without a special thank you to Pamela Haberman, who in 1976 was the very first person to ever think that I would ever be something or do something worthwhile. And to this day, 43 years later, keeps my feet grounded and is my true north. Thank you, Pamela. When I received the notice in the mail telling me I had received this prestigious award, I thought it was a mistake. I really did. So I did what every red-blooded person does these days, and I Googled my name in Pocatello, Kelly Ray. And lo and behold, there is another Kelly Ray that graduated from Idaho State with a master's degree. Well, and now it's not that I didn't graduate from Idaho State in 1982. I just thought, well, I've never held a formal teaching position, and so I wondered, how did I get selected for this position? I felt kind of funny. I called Catherine Ryder, and I said, I feel kind of funny about receiving this award. Why? And so we discussed a few things on the phone, and she convinced me that perhaps I did have some things to share with you this evening. And as I hung up that phone, I began thinking about education and how all of us, from the moment we are born, are being educated by someone in some form. And it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody with a bunch of initials behind their name. Think about that. From the time I was 10 years old, I dreamed of being a teacher. Although when I told my mother of my dreams, she looked at me funny and said, "Why? You should be an electrician or a plumber. They make a lot more money." I wanted to be a teacher because in a classroom, in a school, was where I felt safe. It was a safe place for me. My home was not. I think most of my teachers recognized this and gave me special attention. Special attention. Although if they were here today, I'm sure they would tell you that that special attention was due in part to my behavior. Seriously, I loved my teachers. They were a beacon of light for me, and I yearned to be one of them. That yearning became more intense as I stepped foot on this campus in the fall of 1978. Now, 41 years later, I will tell anyone that listens to me, my 4 years here at Idaho State University saved my life. It also set the course of my life in ways no one could ever predict or prepare for. Because this place, this small university, introduced me to not just good people, but great people. Student peers, professors, and one women's softball coach. 3 experiences at this school are a testament to what I've just said and what has guided my successes in my life. Perseverance. From fall of 1978 to spring of 1982, I shared many education classes right here in this building with a fellow student named Alicia Hayes. Alicia Hayes had come to Idaho State on a full-ride tennis scholarship, but prior to her first year of competition, in a tragic accident, was paralyzed from the waist down and never got to compete for Idaho State University. Alicia never let her situation get in the way of what she wanted to do: make educational systems better for our children. Alicia was an amazing inspiration to me at the time. I used to watch her teaching disabled children over in the pool at Reed Gym. She always had a smile on her face as she taught those children and encouraged them, although they and Alicia faced enormous challenges. Alicia educated me in the form of perseverance long before she ever had those initials after her name. My second story is about a history professor here at Idaho State named Ron Hatzenbuehler. I was flunking history. He recognized my extreme boredom, my disinterest in the class, and he called me in one day, and I thought, oh boy, here we go. And he said, "Kelly, why are you bored? Why are you?" I said, "I'm bored, I'm disinterested, I don't see any reason in why we're learning about history. I want to change the world now. I care about what's going on now." He gently explained to me how many things that happened in history are relevant to things that happen currently. And he told me that in his future lesson plans, he would change his lesson plans to reflect that for me. For me? Yes, for me. And he did just that. I learned windows of history to the modern world. He opened those windows of history for me. He changed his lessons plans so I was able to adapt my way of thinking about history. And yes, I did pass that class. Now, neither of the previous 2 stories would have ever been possible had it not been for the glorious gift of opportunity that came my way from Coach Ellen Margolis of the Idaho State women's softball team. I came to Idaho State in the fall of 1978 from Reno, Nevada. I had enough money in my pocket to get me through the first semester, and that's it. She told me I should try out for the softball team, that I could possibly get a walk-on scholarship. She said, Just see if you're good enough. I have 1 or 2 left. Okay. The day before school let out for Thanksgiving vacation in that fall of 1978, I was in the mini dome lifting weights, and I was hanging my head low. It was very low. I knew I had no money to return to this college, and I had already made some great friends here. And I knew I wasn't good enough for that athletic scholarship. As I looked up, Ellen walked into the weight room and told me I was indeed a very hard worker. I was indeed a very dedicated person. One of the most dedicated kids she'd ever met. She said she was sorry, but she had decided to give the athletic scholarship to another walk-on. She then placed her hands on her knees, looked at me in the eye and said, "But I have a manager's scholarship I can give you to pay your out-of-state tuition." I was 18. All I heard was scholarship and pay my out-of-state tuition. I danced a little jig. I was happy, jumping up and down. I was elated. And after I settled down for a little bit, I said, "But what do I have to do for this manager scholarship? Do I get to travel with the team? Will I ever get to play?" Coach Margolis calmly explained to me that all I would have to do was help her with setting up the field for all the home games and do the washing for the team after games. And yes, I would get to play if someone broke their leg or happened to quit the team. Oh well, I had a scholarship. I was in. I was going to be able to continue with my college education because of Coach Margolis. Though I washed a lot of uniforms and a lot of stinky socks, I did end up playing a bit. And in fact, until a few years ago, I actually held an Idaho State women's softball record, hit by pitch the most. That is a true story. And quite frankly, I learned by leaning into the pitch, I could actually get on base. That is opportunity. Okay? That is opportunity. So sometimes you do get hit by a pitch or get thrown a curveball in life. Such was the case for me upon leaving Idaho State University with my degree. Instead of becoming a teacher, I did become a special agent with the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. It's a job like no other, and it was perfectly suited for me and my temperament. I was a woman who wanted to serve the public in any way I could. And I was a woman at the time, and still am, who abhors the scourge of illegal narcotics. It was a perfect job for me. Perseverance, again. I survived the rather arduous process of becoming a special agent with the DEA. And during the first 7 years of my career, I was stationed along the United States-Mexico border. I did 3 tours of duty in Bolivia and Peru in covert jungle operations. And then in 1994, I was selected by the Drug Enforcement Administration for the Mazatlan Resident Office in the country of Mexico. It was during my time in Mexico that I became aware of a heavily documented Hells Angel that had been arrested in Mexico and placed in one of the most disgusting, dirty, and dangerous prisons in all of Mexico, the Sinaloa State Prison, just outside of Mazatlan. Without divulging too many particulars and keeping my status as a DEA agent covert, I developed a ruse for visiting this prisoner in that disgusting place. And every week, I knew I needed to get close to this Hells Angel. Every week for more than a year, I was strip searched prior to my entering the prison. Every week for the first few months, I was spit on by this prisoner through the chain link fence. Until finally, we had a breakthrough. And it was a breakthrough over all things, motorcycles. I love motorcycles. However, we began talking, We developed a rapport. And after a year of doing this, I was able to secure enough information from that Hells Angel that not only led to his immediate extradition from the country of Mexico to face charges in the state of Virginia, here in the United States, but also I testified in his trial, and ultimately he was convicted, and he is serving a lifetime sentence. That was my perseverance lesson from Alicia Hayes, Idaho State University. Adaptability. Well, after a long career with DEA, I'm just not the kind of person to simply sit around and do nothing. Thus, myself and Pamela formed Haber Homes in our hometown of Reno, Nevada, transforming the urban center from one of decay to a lively group of homes. And we decided to concentrate our efforts on old historic homes, old historic buildings, and adaptively repurposing them into modern residential spaces. In the development world, this is known as adaptive reuse. While keeping the historical significance and details intact, we've been able to transform these buildings into living, breathing structures that the younger generation can now respect and enjoy. Yes, a page of my adaptability lesson from Professor Hatzenbuehler. Opportunity. I spent the past 4 weeks in my garden. I'm an avid gardener, working in the dirt. I like to work in the dirt. Thinking about personal life achievements. And I can tell you with great certainty, there's only one achievement, true to my heart, true to my soul, that I would like to pass on to perhaps the kids here that are getting ready to graduate and go out into the world, or maybe to their parents, or to whoever's here. No matter what you accomplish, how much money you've made, the possessions you own, don't forget to turn around and look back at all those people that extended their hand to you when you have tripped, or maybe even picked you up when you have fallen. To those who gave you opportunity, remember them well. Remember them with honor. And then, as you look ahead and go through into your life, always, always, always reach down, extend your hand to someone who might have fallen, to someone who might have tripped, to someone who needs opportunity. If all goes as it should, this giving, this opportunity will live on in perpetuity. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Really appreciated those remarks, and congratulations on your award. Tonight, we are privileged to have 2 Professional Achievement Award winners with us here at our ceremony. We have Kelly Ray, who was a nominee from the College of Education, but we also have the Idaho State University Graduate School's Professional Achievement Award winner, Dr. Bruce Cush. And so technically, Dr. Cush is his award is not bestowed by the college, but he is one of us. He is a graduate of this college in his graduate degree, and since he is one of our own, it is appropriate that we should celebrate and honor his accomplishments here tonight. Bruce Cush has had a long and distinguished career in industry and in higher education. His industry experience includes stints in Silicon Valley with IBM, Hitachi, and Logitech, and other entities around the world, actually. And as a faculty member and in higher education, he has served at BYU Idaho, and he is now the Chief Academic Officer of the LDS Business College in Salt Lake City. He received his PhD from us here in the College of Education in instructional design in 2012. 7 years ago, he stood on this stage as the recipient of the prestigious Cole McGuffey Award for his dissertation research. So as an academic vice president and now as a college president, Bruce has applied the theories, principles, and skills he gained in our instructional design program to revamp online curriculum at both BYUI and the LDS Business College. And Bruce was kind enough to let me know that his degree from ISU has been instrumental in his success in bringing and implementing and administering online education at these institutions. So please join me in welcoming and congratulating Dr. Bruce Cush. I don't have a plaque for you. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Dottie. It's a real pleasure to be here. My wife and I now live in Salt Lake City, and we always love coming back to Idaho and are grateful to be here on campus. And I congratulate Kelly and Brittany and others who are being recognized this evening. This is a most unexpected honor. And as Dottie mentioned, my experience at Idaho State University has played a pivotal role in the things that I have done over the last few years and that I'm doing now. My journey into academia began 17 years ago when I joined the business management faculty at BYU Idaho. This was in the very early years of their transition from Ricks College, a 2-year school, to a 4-year university. And there was a lot of work yet to do when I arrived. And this was after a little more than about 20 years in Silicon Valley working in the high-tech industry. By the time I finished my 2nd year of teaching, I had created a strategic management capstone course. I'd created a course in sales and negotiations, in global marketing, in international business, introduction to supply chain management, introduction to business. And through all of this, I do not recall that I referenced any materials about learning theory or instructional design, or we were just kind of doing it grassroots and bootstrapping the things that we were doing. After a few years at BYU Idaho, I felt the nudge to pursue a doctoral degree. And I wanted to choose something other than business. I had an undergraduate degree and a graduate degree in business, and it wasn't that I thought I knew everything there was to know about business. Far from it. But I thought, if I'm going to go to the effort of earning a doctorate degree, I wanted it to be in something that was different than business, that would enhance my knowledge and my education, that would allow me to perhaps make some contributions to education in the future. And when we were presented with the opportunity from Idaho State University to participate in an instructional design program, I felt this was perfect for what I wanted to do, and it was something that really interested me. And I won't ever forget, nor do I think those that were in my cohort will forget, what I believe was the very first gathering of about 20 of us that were going through this program and beginning it together. In what might be described as a perfect application of good instructional design theory and practice, we were given a pretest to find out what we knew about the discipline of instructional design. And so the faculty would have a benchmark so they knew sort of where they were starting with us as a group. It was a multiple choice exam, and I began to scan the questions, and my recollection is that there were about 50. There may have been more than that. As I read through the questions, one by one, I realized that I knew absolutely nothing about what was on that test. Not a term, not a name, nothing. I had never heard, and these names will probably not be familiar to many of you, but I had never heard of Vygotsky, I'd never heard of Piaget, Gagne, Dewey, Bandura, or Skinner. Nor did I know what constructivism, schema, or behaviorism were. And then there was something called the Addy model. I thought, I think I had an aunt named Addy once upon a time, but I had no idea what an Addy model was. It only took a few minutes to scan these questions for the first time. And then I did it again. It didn't take me as long the second time, and I was just, again, just as stunned that I realized that no amount of thinking, pondering, reflecting, or digging into my long and short-term memory banks would allow me to make even an educated guess of any kind about anything that was on that test. So rather than guess and provide inaccurate data points, I did the only thing I could think of. I took my blank test without a single mark on it and the pencil that I'd been given, and I walked up to a rather stunned Dr. Shane Moulton, and I handed him back the blank test and the pencil, and I said, I have absolutely no idea what any of this stuff is. And I gave him my test, and I walked out of the room. And the jaws dropped of everyone else that was there, thinking, Bruce, how in the world did you get through that test so fast? Well, I later had to explain what had happened, and that I knew nothing about the discipline, but it was a discipline that I came to love. I want to talk just a little bit about my Idaho State experience, and I came to understand very clearly that no one walks the path alone of education, and certainly that was the case with me. It began with the support and encouragement and sacrifice of my wife, who gave up a lot during the time of my studies so that I could dedicate to classwork and to research and to writing. There were colleagues in my cohort and others who had walked this path before me that assured me that even in the moments when I wasn't sure I could do it, that it was indeed possible. I recognize faculty, Dr. Sammons, who was so kind in her introduction, Dr. Skip Losey, Dr. Sue Scow, Dr. Corey Scow, Dr. Al Strickland, Dr. Jane Strickland, Dr. David Coughlin, who is here, who is my advisor on my dissertation, and Dr. Shane Moulton. Now, time does not permit, but I could tell you an experience that I had with each of them that was personally uplifting and edifying, and that was formative and instructive and helpful in the journey along the way. I've talked with a number of people who have gone through the process of earning a PhD, and they've talked about challenges with their committees and others that made it difficult for them. And that was not the case. It was a very warm, inviting, helpful, and friendly environment that was designed to help us finish and to help us succeed. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Grateful to a committee. Dr. Neal was also a member of that committee, whose counsel and scrutiny and correction was vital in my research and in what became the final deliverable, which I have here and I'll talk about in a minute. But I want to talk also about how my experience has informed my work. Just about 3 weeks after I defended my dissertation in November of 2011, my wife and I learned that we were headed for a 3-year leave of absence from our work at BYU Idaho, where we would be involved in missionary work for our church in south central Mexico. And I'm pretty sure that our experience in Mexico was a lot different than Kelly's. Although we had some adventure. One of our primary responsibilities was to teach young people who had absolutely no teaching experience and how to be good teachers. And during our experience, we taught nearly 600 of these young volunteers how to be good teachers in a place that they'd never been before. Upon my return, I was involved at BYU Idaho for a number of months in developing online curriculum. At LDS Business College, I've had the pleasure and the privilege of leading the creation of a learning and teaching framework that we think is quite revolutionary and quite disruptive, that is producing remarkable results in the lives of our students, and that we're very, very excited about. I've worked with a visionary director of instructional design at LDS Business College and a very talented group of designers to develop a methodology that allows us to analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate ADDIE, a course in 14 weeks, the length of one semester at LDS Business College, and we do it in 3 modalities of face-to-face, blended, and online modalities. And this would not have been possible for me to do this kind of work without my experience here at Idaho State University. All of these efforts have informed my experience. And I bring my dissertation, and as tempted as I am to read sections of it to you, I'm not going to do that, but I bring it as a symbol of enduring. During the time that my wife and I were in Mexico, we had stored everything we owned in the basement of our home in Rexburg, Idaho. And in July of 2014, there was a freak storm that hit Rexburg that just seemed to settle right over our house. And our basement filled with 220,000 gallons of water, where we had stored everything we owned, with the exception of my wife's grand piano and a television. And we lost virtually everything that we owned. Furniture, clothing, pictures of our children, everything that you would put in a basement and things that you would store while you were gone. Of all of the things that I had gathered from my work at BYU Idaho as a teacher, and all of the things that I had gathered for my research and my work, literature and other things, books, textbooks, and other things that I had used for my doctoral studies here, the only thing that survived was my dissertation. This is it, right here. And it is a symbol of enduring and persevering. And besides the significance of the effort, every time I look at this, I remember the importance of enduring and the experience that I had here. Now, I've been very fortunate to have some opportunities to serve in roles that I never imagined, that I never applied for, that I never sought, but the opportunities have come far beyond anything I could have imagined. But my education made it possible, and particularly my education at Idaho State University, and I will forever be grateful for that. In my heart, I am a teacher who is now a college president. I am not a college president who used to be a teacher. And for those who are involved in the profession of education and planning a profession in education, you have selected a noble profession and are involved in a noble profession and are doing noble things. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was the 11th President of India, said, quote, "The purpose of education is to make good human beings with skill and expertise. Enlightened human beings can be created by teachers," unquote. I believe, as educators, one of the most important skills that we can help a student develop is the skill to be a great learner. If we don't do that, we have simply been someone who has talked a lot, but maybe haven't done much to contribute to the life and the development of an individual. Abdul Kalam also said, "Teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me." I echo the same, and I thank you so very much.
Trying to figure out my role here. I did a lot of recognizing earlier, and I know I have that coming at the conclusion as well, so I think that's my title, the Recognizer. It's my opportunity now to recognize the 2019 Outstanding Student Recipient, Ms. Brittany Garrett. Every year, we also have the opportunity to honor and recognize an outstanding student from the College of Education who has excelled in their program, their extracurricular activities, and who epitomizes ISU's outstanding student body. Students receiving this prestigious award exhibit high academic achievement, a significant dedication to academic and professional goals, and exceptional involvement in professional activities and community engagement. Tonight, it is my honor to recognize Brittany Garrett as a 2019 College of Education Outstanding Student. Brittany is a student in the Sports Science and Physical Education Department at ISU and will graduate tomorrow with a bachelor's degree in science, a bachelor's of science degree in exercise science. In addition to her exemplary work in the classroom, Brittany is also a member of the ISU women's soccer team and has been recognized for her academic achievements by the Big Sky Conference. Brittany plans to pursue a career as a physician's assistant and will apply for the PA program this summer. In her spare time, Brittany works with the Heart and Lung Surgeons Clinic at Portneuf Medical Center, participates in the Pre-PA Club, and volunteers her time with the Caring Hearts organization. One of Brittany's favorite experiences at ISU has been working with the ISU athletic trainers and athletes during their rehabilitation process to gain practical hours and experiences. Would you please join me in welcoming and congratulating the 2019 Outstanding Student from the College of Education, Brittany Garrett.
All right, hello everyone. So, if any of you were here in the fall of 2015, you might know that the Idaho State women's soccer team lost every game but one. And that year was fun. After that season, a lot of people were asking me why I never transferred or went somewhere else, and there are a couple reasons for that. Reason number one is the odds of doing worse were very slim, so we could really only go up from there. And number two is Idaho State University became my home. The people that I've been able to meet here have really helped me to strengthen as a student and as an athlete. I've gone through a lot of adversity, mainly through soccer, but I wouldn't change that experience at all. It strengthened me, and I'm very grateful. I'd like to thank my parents for helping me through that. Family was very supportive and was always there for you, no matter what the score. And they were there in the good games as well. So thank you, Mom and Dad. I'd also like to thank my classmates and my friends. We went through a lot together. It's been a good major, and we've had some hard tests, one of which was today. But we're done, some of us. And so no matter how hard soccer was, it will never prepare you for a Dr. Myers test. So study, yes. But again, all these challenges have been nothing but strengthening. They're hard in the moment, but in reflection, they're the best things that could have ever happened. And that is one of the hardest things to recognize. Specifically, I would like to thank Dr. Fitzpatrick for nominating me for this award. Thank you. He's been through it all with me as my major advisor. I'd also like to thank Dr. Karen Appleby for being one of the supportive professors. She's always there to help, always has a smile on her face, and always knows the right thing to say. All in all, I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for Idaho State, for the faculty, for the staff, for the students, for the friends, for everything. I'd like to continue my education here. I will be applying to Idaho State's PA school for the fall of 2020, and we'll see what happens there. And then this school is a representation of all the things that we've been able to accomplish. This award is a representation of all of my friends, family, classmates, and anyone who was there to help me get here. I made it. We're here. And so I'm really excited for tomorrow, last day, cherry on top, and then I go to work on Monday. So life starts. But thank you guys.
Thank you, Brittany. Can I have one more round of applause for our 3 honorees this evening? So we will now recognize the students graduating with distinction in the College of Education. Idaho State University recognizes outstanding student scholarship in baccalaureate and associate degrees by granting the following distinctions. So first, like many universities, we provide the distinction of cum laude, that is with honors, and those graduates get a white honor cord. Cum laude distinction is awarded on those having a GPA of 3.5 up to 3.7 or so. And then magna cum laude, high honors, they wear a silver honor cord, and that goes to those having a GPA of 3.75 to 3.9. Summa cum laude, which is highest honors, they get a gold honor cord, and that goes to those having a GPA of 3.95 and up to 4. So, to be eligible to graduate with distinction, the baccalaureate students must complete a minimum of 60 credits at ISO, credit hours at ISU, and associate's degree students must complete a minimum of 30. So graduates, as your group is called, please line up along the side wall, point to wall, okay? There you go, over there. In alphabetical order, according to your first name. And your names are listed alphabetically in the program if you need a cheat sheet. So first, will the graduates receiving the cum laude distinction from Idaho State University please come forward? Hopefully, everybody's checked in and will be on my list as I read. So come on up, come on up. So our first honoree is Allison Elaine Reamer. Yay. Ashley A. Tomchak. Oh boy, come on through. Bailey Rose Waymeyer. Craig M. Ackerman. Ira Dominique Barraza. Woohoo! Give it up, give it up. Thank you. Jerem Stoddard. Caitlin Jukes. Well done. Katie J. Denny. May L. Dietz. Michelle Holyoke. Will the graduates receiving magna cum laude distinction from Idaho State University please come forward? Trying to sort us. Remember our alphabetizing skills. Okay. April Renee Bryant. Brittany Monique Garrett. Cassie Jo Gordon. Chrissy J. Gard. Emily Jean Stainer. Heather L. Graff. Mary Ray Hunter, Marn Ray Hunter, sorry. Mary Abigail Ireland Latta. Abby. Molly Morgan Johnson. Paul Parker Twiss. Tessa Noel Roski. Will the graduates receiving summa cum laude distinction from Idaho State University please come forward? Connie Chares Nelson. Jeannie Jo Cullop. Okay, I hope you guys are in the right order, okay? Madison Marie Sisersky. Madison Ray Brambila. Please join me in congratulating these students on their very impressive achievements. Dr. John Fitzpatrick.
Each year, the Department of Sports Science and Physical Education awards 5 Student of the Year awards, 1 for each of our emphasis areas: physical education teaching, sport management, outdoor education, and exercise science, and 1 overall department Student of the Year. If the awardees could please, again, I'll say point to the wall, line up along the wall. I know that 2 of our awardees, we have very, very busy students who are actively involved in the community, in the area. Our Physical Education Student of the Year, Physical Education Teaching Student of the Year, Bruce Call, is currently coaching a tennis match with Century High School Tennis. And our sport management, Trey Harmon, is currently working up at the ISU softball game that's going on right now. So they were unable to be here. But we do have 3 awardees that are actually here. Marin Hunter is our Outdoor Education Student of the Year. Come on up, Marin. Our Exercise Science Student of the Year, Parker Johnson. Parker always outdresses me, too. And our Outstanding Student of the Year, Brooke Davis. One more round of applause for all of our awardees. Dr. Neal.
So in closing tonight, I would like to express what a privilege it is to serve at this institution and in the College of Education in both a leadership capacity and as a faculty member. It is here the excellence is nurtured, demonstrated tonight by the incredible accomplishments of Kelly Ray, Dr. Bruce Cush, Brittany Garrett, our honored students, and our sports science and physical education majors of the year. I would like to acknowledge and commend the extraordinary and dedicated faculty who teach, prepare, and mentor these amazing students. Would the faculty from the College of Education in attendance please stand and be recognized? The amount of time these people put in and the caring they show for you does not show up on a report card or anywhere else. But I can tell you their passion for their work and their dedication to you is unsurpassed. Finally, while high-achieving students have worked very hard to get where they are, they didn't do it alone. There are many behind-the-scenes contributors to our students' success, their families and friends. I would like to thank all the mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, wives, husbands, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, partners, and significant others. Would you please stand and be recognized by your students? So in conclusion, I want to thank you all for coming tonight and invite you to join us in the lobby for some refreshments as we honor this distinguished group of individuals. And we hope to see you all tomorrow at commencement. Would our students in attendance tonight please stand and be recognized one more time? That is why we roar.
The hardware. Thank you. I know. I